Hey, it's Double Krown. Okay, I've got this draft document on the withdrawal of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. You can actually download this. It's available for everybody to read. That's if you've not already got a copy. So let's take a quick look at this. And basically, I've been reading through this document. I mean, it's 500 pages long. And I did find some interesting little passages, if I can find them. So probably the best thing is just to do some searches, if I can do some searches. Right, okay. So one thing I noticed was this transition period. Now, if we search for transition period, you can see there's nearly 400 references to this transition period, which is supposedly supposed to be about 2 years long. So, I mean, it's absolutely everywhere in this document, transition period. And I did highlight some stuff. So if we flick through, we might get to some points that I've highlighted. So, well, there's one. Here we go. So 5 years after the end of the transition period, the host state may decide no longer to accept national identity cards for the purposes of entry or exit from its territory if such cards do not include a chip that complies with the applicable international civil aviation organization standards related to biometric identification. So this seems like a reference to the mark of the beast. So it's there in the EU, in the EU documents, microchipping, biometric identification. It's all there. The mark of the beast is there. Let's move on. So just looking for some highlighted points here in this withdrawal document. Theresa May's negotiated withdrawal agreement. Here we go. Okay, Directive 2006/112/EC. So this is just another one of these European directives. And this document is just riddled with EU directives. So anyway, this one shall continue to apply until 5 years after the end of the transition period. So essentially, we've had 3 years where we've been trying to negotiate a deal. And of course, we're in the EU in that time. We're then going to have 2 years transition period where we'll still be part of the EU. That makes 5 years. And then 5 years after that, this directive will still apply to Britain. So we'll still be kind of stuck in EU regulation for many, many years. An entire generation will be bound by these EU directives. So that's just yet another reason why we cannot sign this document. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Let's move on. Here we go. By the way of derogation from Article 8, the United Kingdom shall have access to the extent strictly necessary to comply with its obligations under the title to the networks, information systems and databases listed in Annex 4. The United Kingdom shall reimburse the Union for the actual costs incurred by the Union as a consequence of facilitating that access. So not only are we bound by EU directives, we are bound by costs that we will have to pay again and again and again to the EU. And this will continue for many, many years to come, no matter what the no matter what the outcome, and certainly if we sign this agreement. Let's carry on. As I say, I've made some highlighted points here, if I can find them. You can see there's lots of directives which are still applicable. There's just too many to go through. Here we go, there's a few there. Okay, more regulations. Yeah, this is just more regulations, more directives. Yeah, nothing really of significance there. Everything is, before the end of the transition period. And this transition period can be extended indefinitely. Before the end of the transition period. So as I say, there's 400 references to this transition period. Here we go. The United Kingdom shall ensure that any specific obligations under agreements concluded by the community with third countries or international organisations in relation to any nuclear equipment, nuclear material or other nuclear items present on the territory of the United Kingdom at the end of the transition period are fulfilled, or otherwise identify appropriate arrangements in agreement with the third country or international organisation concerned. So here it's talking about nuclear and fissile materials. So the EU is binding the UK on fissile nuclear materials, and it just means that you see, Nigel Farage likened this document to a surrender document of a country that has been defeated in war, and with the references to nuclear material and all these directives, it shows that really it is exactly that. This is just like a surrender document, and we are bound by the EU on so many fronts if we go along with this agreement. Okay, without prejudice to Articles 136, 138 of this agreement, for a period of 4 years after the end of the transition period, the European Anti-Fraud Office, OLAF, shall be competent to initiate new investigations. So again, the European fraud offices can investigate the UK for many years to come after the transition period, however long that lasts. See if there's any more highlighted text here. I'm not sure there was that many more. Yeah, there was something there. Here we go, for the period between the 1st of January 2021. So I think the transition period takes us up to approximately January 2021. But here it says for the period between 2021 and the end of the transition period. So the transition period could extend beyond 2021. The United Kingdom shall make a contribution to the union budget. So we're still bound by costs. Let's carry on. Here we go. Noting that in accordance with Article 132 of the Withdrawal Agreement, the transition period may be extended by mutual consent. So, yeah, it could be extended. That is by mutual agreement, you know, for many, many years to come. It's just ridiculous. Here we go. There's a special article about the extension of the transition period there. You see, the United Kingdom, having had regard to progress made towards conclusion of the agreement referred to, may at any time before the 1st of July 2020 request the extension of the transition period. That doesn't sound promising. Coming to the end of the article now, and here we go. Here we go, the time limits and the situation and procedures. And here we go, type of access and the time limit. We've got until July 2021 or January 2021 to access these computer systems, information systems. So that is pretty much the transition period. Takes us up to 2021. And in some cases, it takes us up to 2024 even. So yeah. So that we're back at the beginning of the document now. So there was something else actually. I mean, for example, if I search for the word permanent, and let's see how many instances of the word permanent appear. As you can see here, 2 of 33. There are 33 instances of the word permanent, which is interesting. I mean, that's not a coincidence, is it? That is not a coincidence. There are 33 instances of the word permanent in the EU withdrawal document for the United Kingdom. That is no coincidence. They're using some kind of magic here. They're using some kind of magic here to bind the UK indefinitely into the EU. And the interesting thing is, of course, once we are bound by this document, that's right, there was something else actually. Yeah, observer. Here's something I missed. By the way of derogation from Article 7 and 128, as of the date of entry into force of this agreement, the United Kingdom shall have the status of observer in the Administrative Commission. So the UK will then be an observer if we sign this agreement, which means that people like Nigel Farage will not even be able to have a say. He will not be able to express his opinion at these EU conferences, these EU meetings. He will not be a part of it. So we will have no representatives. There'll be nobody there fighting the UK's cause. We will just be observers. This document is a way to silence the entire UK from actually saying anything about the EU. That's what this is. This is a surrender document. This is a silencing document. This is censorship. And yeah, there's absolutely no way the UK can sign this document as far as I can see from what I've read. From what I've read, there's no way the UK can sign this document. Okay, thanks for watching. Over and out. See you next time. Bye for now.